An LLC or S corporation. Which one will leave more money in your pocket? Let's find out the best choice for you. My name is Jonny Petrucco, an IRS enrolled agent, and I want to cover 4 statuses that a sports card entrepreneur may have: a hobby, sole proprietor, S corporation, and C corporation. Now, the IRS has rules determining what is a hobby versus a business, and I want to have a video separately to get into this. But basically, a hobby is something you do for fun, and you're not making or intending to make a profit. Although we're in the hobby and we love the hobby, we generally do not like hobby income. You cannot deduct expenses such as rent, supplies, travel for hobby income. This is why, generally speaking, we do want to try to see ones become a business as Schedule C. This is why, generally speaking, it's better for tax purposes to operate like a business. There is one exception. Hobby income does not pay self-employment tax. One reason, but usually the case, is we do want to be a business. As a business, there's 3 general categories, right? So first is the sole proprietor. As soon as you start to operate like a business, you are required to file Schedule C on your 1040, even if you don't file for anything officially. Now, this is where an LLC comes in. A sole proprietor who wants liability protection, that is, if the business has too many debts or they get sued, that business owner, if they're a sole proprietor, right, their assets are liable, but now that you have an LLC. So we can see that a sole proprietor versus an LLC is mainly for legal purposes, but there is zero difference when it comes to tax purposes. Both of these are considered a disregarded entity. That is, you are filing Schedule C and you pay the dreaded self-employment tax of 15.3% on all of your profits. So this is the thing that we want to avoid, right? This 15% self-employment tax is in addition to your federal income tax. So this is where a corporation comes into play. LLC, remember, is not a corporation, it's a limited liability company. But a corporation, by default, is a C corporation. So this is also somewhat problematic, but it depends on your level of income. Corporations are double taxed. The main problem people come into with corporations are they are double taxed. That is, the corporation itself pays a flat tax rate. Right now it's 21% of all of their profits. It used to be 35% a few years ago. After the entity pays that flat tax rate, the shareholders, when they take their dividend, are also taxed at a 0, 15, or 20% tax rate, depending on your bracket. So that's double taxation. C corporations, though, are very good and preferable for really all of the big companies. They provide unlimited shareholders. They make it easier to reinvest into your business. A best part about a C corporation versus an S corporation, which I'll get to, is you don't pay tax on your profits. You only pay tax on profits that are distributed. This is mostly relevant for people making millions of dollars, right? Most of us will not see the tax benefits, which there are for certain kind of people, for C corporation, which is why the best place to be generally is the S corporation. The S corporation is not for everyone as well. Having a minimum of $40,000 to $50,000 in profit is ideal. In 1958, an S corporation was created. Now, this eliminated the double taxation that corporations had, and this takes away the 15.3% self-employment tax. There are a number of additional benefits with an S corporation, but the main one is eliminating the self-employment 15.3% tax. So let's compare an LLC and an S corporation. As far as legal entities are concerned, they're actually the same. To form an LLC, you need to file the articles of organization in your state. After that, you can apply for a federal EIN number that you can use on your tax. Now, an S corporation is an LLC. There's not a different EIN number. It is merely a tax classification. To do this, you need to file Form 2553. Do this by March 15th. Sometimes there's late election relief. If you have been already operating as an S corporation, you can make it retroactive, but it is filing a form. That is the difference between an LLC and an S corporation. Now, a lot of people do this because of the tax implication. Right, so a quick example. Let's say your LLC profited $100,000. If you are treated as a disregarded entity, meaning you have not made an S Corp election, you are paying 15.3% self-employment tax on that $100,000. Now, keeping in mind that this $100,000 profit is before paying the business owner. As an S corporation, that $100,000 can be split into a certain ratio, salary and distribution. The owner's salary is just like any salary with a W-2. You do pay your typical 7.65% FICA taxes, whereas your profit distribution does not have a self-employment tax. Now, there's a little bit of a science and art on how to distribute the owner's compensation, but for simplicity, it's usually safe. You can do a 50-50 split. So $50,000 I want to call salary, and $50,000 will be the distribution. So the employee, you, and the employer, you, are paying, both paying 7.65% FICA tax on that $50,000. So that's how we get the 15%. And in this example, as an LLC, you will pay $15,000 roughly on self-employment taxes. As an S Corp, you will pay 15% times 50,000, which is 7,500. So you'll have $7,500 in tax savings. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground, and there are 4 options, right, for you as a hobby, sole proprietor / single member LLC, S corporation or C corporation. So most of us will cross out C corp and hobby. So that leaves us with LLC or S corporation. So the rule of thumb generally, if you have less than say $40,000 in profit, it's usually advantageous to just stay as an LLC. An S corporation increases complexity, like filing a business tax return, running payroll. So usually that's a good benchmark. But hey, you've made more than $40,000 in profit. It's probably time to consider an S corporation election. So talk to your accountant, talk to me. As you can see, there's a lot to consider, and it's important to know your personal customized situation to give you the best option. Feel free to send me an email or book a discovery call. And at Sports Card Tax Guy, we help our clients trade their IRS stress for financial success. I'll talk soon.